Hi, good day everyone. So today we are going to learn about right angle triangles. This was requested by a student. He was a little bit confused on how to locate our hypotenuse or adjacent as well as our opposite. In this little slide that I'm going to do, we are talking about how to locate our hypotenuse easily, how to locate our opposite easily, and how to locate our adjacent easily. Now, before anything, we always need to know how to recognize the topic that we're doing, how to recognize a right angle triangle. Now, the name suggests right angle triangle, so therefore it is a triangle, which is three-sided shape that has a right angle. Now, right angle also means that that angle is 90 degrees. And to observe a 90 degrees or to just denote a 90 degrees, instead of putting the 90 degrees, they love to put this little square here. So this triangle here is a 90 degrees triangle. Why? Because it has that little square here and it is telling you this is your one of the angles in our triangle is 90 degrees. So it's either a 90 degrees triangle or a right angle triangle. Same thing. There's no difference. Right. Next thing we're going to learn is your hypotenuse. What is your hypotenuse? Your hypotenuse is a side opposite the 90 degrees angle. It is also the longest side in your right angle triangle. Right? So we already locate or know that this is 90 degrees because look the little square there. So this is a 90 degrees triangle. Now, sometimes we may have a little bit of problems with with determining where is your opposite this 90 degrees. So what I like to do is a little trick that I picked up. I like to draw the angle that makes up my 90 degrees. So I draw a line here and I draw a line here. These two lines, when they intersect each other, they make up the 90 degrees. So the side that is not used to make up a 90 degrees would be my hypotenuse. So if I look at this line as being used, AB is being used and AC is being used to make up my 90 degrees. The side that is not used to make up 90 degrees is BC. So this here is my hypotenuse, right? And that is how you can find your hypotenuse very easily. Now, the next thing we're going to do is your opposite side. Now, opposite side is the side opposite the angle in a triangle that is not 90 degrees. So they will give you a 90 degrees angle, triangle, and then they may give you an angle that is not 90 degrees. So let's say they give you the angle down here, and they say it is 30, right? Same concept that we did for the hypotenuse. We're going to draw a line, the two lines that intersect to make up 30. So it is BC and AB intersect to make that 30 degrees. Which side? So I am using BC and I'm using AC. Which side is not used to make up that 30 degrees? AB. So my opposite for this type of triangle is going to be AB. Right? So AB is equal to your opposite. Now, let's say instead of giving the angle here, they chose to give your angle on top here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw a line. What is the line that makes up that 15 degrees? In this case, it's 15 degrees, right? The line that makes up the 15 degrees when intersected is when two lines intersect that makes up 15 degrees is AB and BC. Right? So A, B, and BC make up that 15 degrees. Which side is not used to make up the 15 degrees? AC. So I know that AC will now be my opposite. So my opposite side all depends on the angle that is not 90 degrees. Right? So in this case, AC would be my opposite. Then we're going to learn about adjacent. Now, adjacent side is a side that has an angle in the angle in the triangle that is not 90 degrees and the 90 degrees angle. So it's a side that contains both your 90 degrees and that angle that is not a 90 degrees. So we have 15 degrees here in green and we have 90 degrees here. Same thing that we're going to do. We're going to draw a line that makes up the 90 degrees, and then we're going to draw a line that makes up that non-90 degrees, which is this right here. The side that shares, the side that is shared would be your adjacent. So which side is shared? So we have A, B, and AC making up that 90 degrees. And then to make this 15 degrees, we have BC and again AC. Because AC contains or has your 90 degrees angle as well as your 15 degrees angle on it, or the angle that is not 90 degrees on it, this is now known as your adjacent. Now, similar to opposite, it will all depend on what angle is given. So if here is 15 degrees, and let's call this A, B, C, you're going to do the same thing, right? You're going to draw a line here. So you know AC and AB is used to make up that 90 degrees angle. This would be a hypotenuse, by the way. And then what makes up the 15 degrees? AB and BC. So the side that has both your 90 degrees and your non-90 degrees angle would be your adjacent. So in this case, your adjacent would be AB. So this would be your adjacent. And that is an easy way to locate your adjacent, your hypotenuse, and your opposite. Now, obviously, this will be used when you're using sine, cosine, and tangent. But I will not be going through that right now. But this is how we would locate what is our hypotenuse, what is our adjacent, and what is our opposite. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments.